Hello everybody and welcome to One Player. Today on the table we have another entry into the BGG Solitaire print and play contest. We've spent the past 2 episodes up in space, so I thought we'd bring it back down to Earth, albeit in a fantasy setting, with today's entry, which is Hagalaz. I apologize if I'm saying that incorrectly. I'm saying it like Hagen-Dazs. I think that's right. Could be Hagalaz or Hagalaz, I'm not sure. But anyway, Hagalaz, here we are. Absolutely 100% on terra firma. We are exploring the caverns of Hagalaz with our adorable little mouse companion, Bjarkan. He is the bravest warrior from the nearby village, and he or we have been sent into the caves in order to tackle various minions, challenges, monsters, etc. in a series of encounters. Before I get started, do remember to go check out the other channels participating in this series. Veselko Kelava last week did Mars 2035, which is a dice game. Really cool playthrough of that. McLaughlin discovered the obscure, an 80s themed mystery monster, kind of like Arkham horror-esque, but 80s horror movie kind of. Awesome, really cool, neon colors, go check it out. And we'll have as well another gentleman joining us from Pasyans Player, a Russian YouTube channel. He will be recording videos, I believe, mostly in English, but is going to be joining us to cover some games as well. I'll leave a link to all the channels and all the videos in the description below. Do go check them out, go subscribe, go leave comments, go like the videos. And then, of course, head over to BGG and leave your comments on the entry threads. All of these games are works in progress, so they are looking for active feedback, they're looking for rule feedback, they're looking for things that you like, things that you don't like, help with colors, help with logos, help with whatever you can offer feedback on. I am sure the designers would love to hear from you for all of these games. So go check them out. Go check out the entry threads. And with that said, let's get on with this game. What are we doing in the caverns of Hagalaz? Well, we are kind of deck building, but also like mostly tableau building. We are essentially learning spells from a deck, placing them into our tableau, and using this really cool like runic rondel in order to learn cast and manipulate our spells with these various dice that we have here, in order to confront our enemies. Right now we are starting on level 1, of course. We are facing a single minion who is going to be going down to the might of our fireballs right quick is the hope. But to set up, we've got our character card here with a nice red cube on 10 health. We've got the minion card up here with his health starting on 3. We've got our deck of only 9 cards, so it's a very small deck to start with, but we do have these 9 additional cards, which I know I've kind of made the mistake of framing them in different colors, but they have different colors on the front, and I just wanted to be able to tell them apart. So I don't think it's going to hinder me too much or give me too much help, but we're going to be able to add some of these cards once we pass the encounters. That's kind of like a reward for almost like loot we're going to find. Imagining we're like, learning more and more about our spell book. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. We've got dice. The rules say 8 dice. I haven't needed that many yet, but I haven't got too far through the encounters. But I've got 4 dice up here just ready to go, and we've got the, like I said, this runic rondel ready to play. This mechanism is actually really cool, and the manipulation of the dice is, I think, a mechanic that is proving very popular with the people that have already played through this, and it's probably one of my favorite parts too. There's kind of a manipulation of the dice where you can change and flip, and different elements will do different things, etc., etc. And I'm just going to start playing. So on each round, the game is split up into encounters and rounds. So our encounter is always facing whatever enemy we're in front of, and a round is going to be the various phases. The starting phases, we place a cube. For the first time, we place preferably a black cube, but I went with blue and yellow because I figured, we're kind of, we're runic, we're kind of going Scandinavian. I don't know, it's kind of like Swedish maybe. I just didn't have any black and white cubes. I mean, that's honestly the truth. Anyway, we're placing this dark cube over one of the symbols, so we can choose to give our minion either one attack point or one shield point. I'll give him an attack point. And then going forward, at the start of every following round, we're going to place a white cube on another open space. So, of course, we could give him 2 attack cubes, but I'd rather just place it in this open one and just have him not get any stronger for now. But the longer that we spend learning spells and not casting them, not attacking him, the more powerful he gets. So there's kind of a little bit of a pressure to get through, to get done with him nice and quick. So we pulled 3 cards into our hand, and these are kind of dual purpose. You see they've got this top portion here with either stars or circles, and then some of them have these bottom portions as they are spells. We cannot use both, so we have to choose. The stars let us play spells from our hand into our tableau, again, like into our little spell book, if you will. Or they let us cast a spell. So if I've already got a spell down here, I can play a star card and the spell will be cast. These circles allow us to manipulate the dice that are on the rune track. So they either allow us to either plus or minus 1 from the value of the dice, or move them around in a clockwise direction from the various elements. So we've got air, water, I'm not sure what that is. I think that's like the base one where you don't get anything. So air, water, earth, fire, light, and each of those corresponds to various spells or parts of a spell. So I'm going to play the star, is what I'm saying. I'm going to get a basic ward. This will allow us to place or take dice from our rune rondel, place it onto this spell card, and then anytime we want to discard 1 die, we gain a shield point. So there you go. This will get discarded because we don't have anything to do with it, as there are no dice in play yet, and it goes into a discard pile over here. We can choose to attack, but we don't have anything to attack with, so we are going to go ahead and start the round again, or start the next round, I suppose. So a light cube is going onto the minion board. They don't attack us yet until we choose to attack them, or until their board gets totally full. So that's how we know when they are ready to come and get us, if we don't go and get them first. Now, this is a shame because we've got a Fire Blast card, which is in the deck of 9, the starting deck of 9 cards, is actually one of the best ways, and maybe even the only way, to do a lot of damage. But we don't have a star card, so we cannot play it. However, we do have these 2 dice cards where we can place a die onto the rune track. So let's think about this. This Fire Blast, we know will probably come back around, and I'd like to have a dice ready to do that when it does that. So I'm going to place a 1. Obviously, we have to follow the number on the dice onto the fire rune over here. And so I'll play that, and then I'm going to play the circle of my Fire Blast card and move it up to 2 to make it slightly more powerful. I'm then also going to place a rune on water, because then I can bring it over to here, and then immediately, and then when I cast a spell, I can take the die off and again gain that shield point. So if I get in a position where I've got 2 stars, or maybe even a star before I get my Fire Blast, then that's what I'm going to be planning on doing. We give the minion another white/yellow cube, and our deck is empty. We're going to have to reshuffle the discard pile, and here are some star cards. That's what we were looking for previously. Now then, the glowing orb. At any time, we can return the dice and immediately gain 1 star. So it's kind of like a consistent, like a constant casting ability, which is actually kind of cool. Magic Bolt. I can gain 1 attack for each covered rune. Well, you know, I tell you what, I'd like to actually play this as a circle. Even though this is a nice card and it gains me more attack, I can just play it as a circle and then increase my fire, and then basically have my fire spell come back through the deck later on. So in that case, I'll play my star, add my glowing orb to the tableau, and then we're going to shuffle the discard pile and start the next round. So pretty simple mechanisms, right? I mean, you're obviously familiar with the kind of like deck building mechanisms. I do like the moving the die. It reminds me a little bit of yeah, it's almost like an engine builder, like a tableau builder. Obviously, is the better way to put it. But it reminds me kind of like Fantastic Factories, where you're like manipulating the dice up and down, and the various spells you have. In that case, factories you have will allow you to do different varying combinations. So yeah, I'm into it. It's got good bones. This. We are nearly to the point where the minion is going to be full up. So I would prefer for that not to happen anytime soon. Oh, lovely. Look at that. We've got a star and a fire blast. So this can go onto... Aha. Look at this. This dice, this one, can go onto this square, the air rune. Then I can move my air rune over here to the glowing orb. I can then return this dice, right, at any time without having to cast it, I believe. I can return this dice at the end space, immediately gain 1 casting ability. I can then either cast, well, I guess I can cast this, or I could cast this. So if I move this back, I've now got 1 star, and I can either gain myself a shield, which I do get to keep in the next encounter, or I can go ahead and just cast Fire Blast right away. Let's just do that for the sake of Fire Blast. Let's do it. So I'm going to bring this over here. I'm going to use my star that I just got from my glowing orb, cast Fire Blast, and move into the attack phase. In the attack phase, unfortunately, our enemy gets to attack first. So we add up everything that we've covered with with cubes. So in fact, that's only 1 for him. So it's just 1 attack. Hopefully, there's a bit of a harsh shadow over here. Sorry about that. So we've got a 1. So we've got 1 attack. He's going to take us down to 9. That's where a shield might have been useful, but 9 out of 10 is not bad. It's a passing grade. And then we are going to cast Fire Blast with 3, do 3 damage to him, and the encounter is successful. So minion, you are vanquished, and we're on to the Trog. With that, we get rid of all of these. We're going to shuffle our deck back, and now we have a choice to make where we can either rest and gain 3 health points. We have to remove a card from our deck in that case, or we can meditate. I don't really need the health points right now, so I think we'll do that. And if we meditate, we get to add one of those fancy advanced cards to our deck. Again, it being yellow and these being blue, not the best idea by me, but you know what? I'm just going to go with it. So I'm going to take the deck of advanced cards. Let's shuffle them first. And I'm going to draw 3. I'm going to add 1 of them to the deck. I add 1 of them to my deck. I put 1 of them back here, and then 1 of them leaves the game. So I get to kind of choose the possibility of having them later. So 1, 2, 3. Let's see. That's nice. Gives us the opportunity to cast and play a spell in the same turn. That gives us... Wow, that's a lot. So this gives us the opportunity to place a dice and increase and or rotate. And... well, no, okay. So it gives us a chance to place the dice and increase it by 2 and maybe rotate it by 2. Okay. This one, the protective ward, when all runes are covered, we get 6 to our shield, which is actually pretty impressive. I kind of really would like to be able to get some more attack-based cards in here, but frankly, I'm not sure that's going to happen. So maybe the protective ward isn't a bad idea. I mean, getting a fire and not using it for Fire Blast seems frustrating, but when all runes are covered... ooh, this is tricky. I'm gonna go with the Protective Ward. I'm gonna put this one back on the top of the advanced cards, and this one is gonna go by way of the minion. And let's shuffle this up again. I know it's gonna stand out like a sore thumb, but I'm just gonna throw it in the middle somewhere, and that way, you know, that's fair enough. So the Trog has health points of 5, and of course to start the round we need to give him a dark cube and place it on either shield or attack. Now, the thought of having to do 8 damage to kill him is feels a bit annoying, but to be honest, I mean, it might not be that bad. And do I want to take 3 hits each time I'm attacked? I don't know. I mean, we got the minion filled up pretty quick, didn't we? And so for him to be doing 3 damage is not the best. Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna do it. He's got 3 attack points. Now then, unfortunately we can't play and also, again, like we can't play the star and then move this into our tableau. So we can only play the star and get the magic bolt, which is okay by me, because I can also place this and we'll do 2. And you know what? I suppose, actually maybe I didn't need to do that because I can just move this to here and it's covered, so we gain 1 attack when we attack. So that's nice. 3 cards for me, please, and we'll. I wonder what this is going to be. And we're going to place the white cube over here. Oh my gosh, it's a Protective Ward. That's a great card. What a surprise. Pleasant surprise at that. No basic ward for me, and unfortunately no Protective Ward either, because we don't have a star card. But we do, luckily, have at least a dice to place on the runes. So let's... we could... I mean, okay, we're going to place a 1 on the water. Now we've got 3 circles with which to manipulate... those die, right? So we could... And actually, you know what? I mean, I could place it right on here and just place the dice onto the magic bolt and have 2 attack points, which I'm not actually against per se. It's a bit of a waste of these 2 cards, because my other option, of course, would be to place it on water, and then I can use these 3 circles to either move it, rotate it around, so 1, 2, 3 into the fire space, so we know we've got Fire Blast coming up, or I could increase it by 3, so get it to a 4 card, and then start to rotate it around. Also not a terrible idea. And then if we get 4 plus 1, 5, that Trog's going down. We just need to be able to play enough circles in order to do that. 1, 2, 3, 3 circles, in fact. Yeah, I think we can bank on that. That's gonna be my tactic. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully Fire Blast and a star is in here. We'll give him a yellow cube. And we've got a star and we've got Fire Blast. So there we go. And and look at that. We can place actually another dice on the fire rune itself. Now, there's a bit of discussion on I was reading on the entry thread to this game. Oops, sorry, I thought that was showing, but it's not, sorry. There's a bit of a discussion on the entry thread to this game as to how many dice you can keep on each rune space. I think the purists among the players are saying like only 1. You can only have 1 die, but the designer themselves has said, well, I play with 2 because it gets too hard if you only have 1. So, with that said, I do believe we can place 1 here and then just save it and move the 4 around when we're ready, and then have 5 attack sitting waiting for us. So that's good. We've got a Fire Blast. Fantastic. I mean, I suppose we could engage him right now, but you do 3 damage to us and we only do 1 to him, so it doesn't... Don't know if it makes sense. Oh, we can't engage him because I don't have a star. Never mind. I forget what I'm saying. Don't listen to me. He is full. So by the next round... he's going to be attacking, and he's going to be hitting us for 3, so not a small amount. I would rather like to have some sort of, you know, maybe protective ward, maybe some sort of like advanced card. I don't know where I'd be able to find that in the deck, but yeah, there you go. Okay. We've got 1 dice to go there, we've got another dice to go there, and we've got another die, and we've got an ability to play a card. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 1 die. I'm going to put 1 die here on the air rune. We're going to immediately move it onto the magic bolt to gain another attack. Pretty good. You're going in the discard pile. Now you could theoretically go into the fire space. I think also the plan is to make this a bit bigger so you can fit multiple dice into it, but we're going into the fire space here, so we've got a stack of dice now. I'll just pile them up. And then we're going to use this to attack with fire damage equal to the value of the dice plus 2 attack. So we're going to do 3 attack in this next phase. So I'm going to just move it to 3, because remember, when we attack, the Trog gets to attack first. So he attacks us for 3, we are going to shoot down to 6. However, we are going to do 3 damage to him and take him down to 2. And I think that is a decent turn. We're going to give him... Now then, I think we're going to have to give him 3, aren't we? We're going to have to give him 3 shield. If I give him 3 attack, he's going to kill us at the next turn. Unless I get some sort of shield myself, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to do. So I think I'm going to have to basically give him... I'm going to give him 3 shields, so he's pretty much on 5 health again. But that's okay. Yeah, here's our protective ward for 6 shields. Or the basic ward. Yeah, okay. Let's gain ourselves some shield, shall we? I'm going to play this into here. I wonder with the magic bolt if I have to take these dice off once I've used them, once I've utilized them. That's a question for the designer. Do I have to take these off once I've used them? Not sure. I'm going to keep them on there because I want to win. We're going to use... I don't think we're going to have time to collect all 3 runes, frankly. So, I'm going to just get this by placing... I'm going to do this, manipulate by 2, and I'm going to move this around clockwise 2, so he's on the earth rune, just 1 away from the fire. So we just need 1 more circle card. Then I'm going to move my 1 over to here. Oh wait, I thought that was that, but it's not. That's water. Never mind. That's annoying. All right, never mind. Cancel what I was saying entirely because it won't work. We've still got 1 on fire. That's fine. And then we've got 4 coming to join him later on. Hopefully we can get some shields at some point. But for now, we're not going to attack, so he doesn't attack us. But we do have to place his white cube. So he's now on 6 attack with 5 health. And I am going to need to get myself some shields pretty swiftly because... yeah, I'm going to be going down to the Trog in pretty much no time at all if I don't. I'm closing my eyes, by the way. if I don't deal with him. So we've got 2 cards. Let's hope they're good. We've got 2 stars, which is good, and we've got a circle, which is also good, because we can do this, move this here. We can place... Oh man, we need a rune though, don't we? We need health, because otherwise he's going to smack us in the face for 6, and we don't have any shields. So even though I've got enough to kill him, I can't do it. I can't attack him just yet. Oh, but he's going to attack us anyway because he's full. So he's going to attack us each turn now. Ooh, dear. I think I might have just lost. Let me think about this really quick. Okay, let me think about this really quick. I should have manipulated this. I should have played my protective ward down here and done my darndest to gain 6 shields, because otherwise I've got no way of withstanding 2 attacks, and I think that's what I need to be able to do. So my 4 is here. I've got a circle to manipulate the dice, but it's not going to be enough to do anything, I don't think. Even if I manipulate the dice here, I can't move my light rune onto there. And if I place, even if I place my glowing orb into my tableau, it's not going to do anything. It just lets me cast spells. This doesn't help me one bit. I really did underestimate the necessity for shields, because as soon as we go into the attack phase, he is going to hit us for 6. That means we go down to 0. And even though we'd be able to cast Fire Blast for 4, that would only get him down to 3. That would only get him down to 1. Oh man. Well, there you go. That is Hagalaz. I've just been defeated by the second encounter, so I guess we're going to have to try again. The bones of this are very promising. I really like the runes. I like the dice manipulation. I think, like lots of other people before me have said, if this was like a nice big board, I think it would look really cool. And I mean, runes are neat, so like, who doesn't like a good rune now and again? Yeah, I like the interplay with the cards. I think there could probably be more of them. Obviously, it's a very small deck to start with, so you do start relying on, obviously we were very reliant on the Fire Blast, right? And then, of course, from the possible pool of 9 cards, I mean, there's plenty of other, like, manipulations and placements and other things. But there's not a huge amount of other, like, attacking spells. So I think you'd probably be, like, rotating around Fire Blast pretty much, well, a decent amount. So it might be cool to have a bit more variance there. But for what it is, I think there's a really good chance it could turn into something really, really cool. So I'm happy I played it, happy I gave it a go. Yeah, I mean, a bit amateurish in my construction this time. Like when you're doing a school project and you're like, man, this isn't looking great. What do I do? And then you're like, throw a border on it. That's, I think, what I kind of did here. But with that said, it works. It works all right. And I got a feel for the game, which I did enjoy. So, with that said, again, do go check out the other participating channels down in the description below. If you are not already, do consider subscribing for lots and lots more solo board game content. More of this contest series, of course, coming up. Probably the next few months is going to be filled with this stuff. But of course, lots and lots more other solo board gaming things happening, appearing on the channel. And I would love to have you along. Drop me a like if you like, leave me a comment. Like I said, go talk to the designers, interact with them, play the games, and see what you think. And until next time, I will see you later.